Line up on it. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the March 21st, 2023 Town Board meeting. Can we all please rise for the pledge to the flag? Chief, would you lead us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Folks, we could just remain standing for a moment of silence to keep in our thoughts and prayers all of our first responders, EMS and fire, and all of our bravest men and women who keep our freedoms in the armed forces on a daily basis. Thank you. Amen. We're going to just start with introductions. To my left,
Good evening, Diana Quast, Town Clerk.
Councilman and Deputy Supervisor Ed Lachterman.
Tom Diana, Town Supervisor.
Councilwoman Luciana Howitt.
Mary Capocia, Councilwoman.
Adam Rodriguez, Town Attorney.
Thank you. We're going to bounce around a little bit here tonight. I'd like to get the presentation going here by our Chief of Police, Robert Noble. Thank you, Chief.
Good evening, everybody, and thanks so much for coming out on what is always a special night for us, where we welcome new members into our police family, our Yorktown family, and a very happy occasion where we get to promote one of our own to the rank of lieutenant, someone who's worked hard and deserves this very much. So I hope you all enjoy this, and it's getting a little hot in here, so we're going to move this along right away. All right, so at this time, I'd ask that Officer Chad Delgado please step up and join me on stage. Officer Chad Delgado was born in Brooklyn, New York, September 5th, 1989, and moved up to Cortland Manor, where he attended and graduated Walter Panis High School in 2007. After graduating high school, Officer Delgado attended Westchester Community College before he decided to join the United States Navy as an equipment operator for the Seabees in 2010. While in the United States Navy, Officer Delgado served in Guam and Afghanistan, receiving his Navy and Marine Corps Achievement Medal, the Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, the ISAF NATO Medal, the Afghanistan Campaign Medal, and the CB Combat Warfare Specialist insignia. After serving his time with the United States Navy, Officer Delgado attended Pace University until he started his law enforcement career in 2015 with the City of New York Police Department in the 4-2 precinct. 2 years later, Officer Delgado transferred to Westchester County with the City of Rye Police Department, where he became their defensive tactics instructor, firearms instructor, and taser instructor. While with the City of Rye, Officer Delgado helped assist with the defensive tactics recruit training program for the Westchester County Police Academy from 2019 till our current date. Throughout Officer Delgado's law enforcement career, he has received a total of 3 life-saving awards between the NYPD and the City of Rye. I'm sure there's more to follow here, Chad. Officer Delgado has informed me that he is very proud to now be a Yorktown police officer and is looking forward to ending his career with us, his law enforcement career with us. And before I let Chad go over and take the oath from the Honorable Diana Quast, our town clerk, I will tell you that since he's been here, he's hit the ground running. He's been involved in multiple arrests. He's assisted our officers greatly. He completed his 8-week field training officer program, hit the road right away, and he's been doing an outstanding job with us thus far. He serves in the Patrol Division under the command of Lieutenant Justin Foley, and we also, we know we got a good one. When I speak to other officers down county, and when I do go to the police academy, they all know Officer Delgado, and they all say that, you know what, you're lucky you got him, Noble, and I would have to agree. So, Chad, here's to a long, healthy, successful career with us. Congratulations. And at this time, please join the Honorable Diana Quast to take your oath. Chad Delgado, everybody.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Chad Delgado,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that you will faithfully discharge the duties of
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of
police officer for the town of Yorktown,
police officer for the town of Yorktown,
according to the best of your ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help you God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
All right. Come on over here, Chad. Not yet, Diana. At this time, I'd like to have the Delgado family please join us, and especially Liam, who's going to pin his dad, put his badge on him,
All
Officer
right.
Delgado tonight. Front and center, Chad.
It's silly, isn't it? So exciting. Super exciting.
What a great job, Liam. How about a hand for Liam? And now a few words from Officer Delgado. Chad, come on over here to the microphone.
Well, good evening, everyone. Just quickly like to say, I'd like to thank the town of Yorktown for accepting me into this new family I have, and I will most definitely be looking forward to being a part of this community. That's it.
Thank you.
Congratulations again.
Congratulations, Chad. Love it, man.
Congratulations. Good luck.
Congratulations.
At this time, Officer Gino Argiro, please join me up here on stage. Officer Gino Argiro grew up in Yorktown and graduated from Lakeland High School in 2018.
Lakeland.
I said Lakeland, didn't I?
I know. Go Lakeland.
Happy.
Oh,
I'm happy.
okay.
For a change.
I just can't believe it said 2018. During his junior year, he began working part-time at the Jefferson Valley Pharmacy as a delivery driver, which he continued to do for 6 years. After high school, Gino attended Mercy College, where he graduated in December of 2022, receiving his Bachelor of Science degree in cybersecurity. While attending college, Gino worked as a seasonal park ranger under the Westchester County Police Department in 2021 and 2022, where he worked with local law enforcement agencies to help maintain a safe environment at several parks located within Westchester County. Officer Argiro received his EMT certification from Westchester Community College in December of 2021. Gino has also worked as a security guard at Walter Panis High School, where he had the opportunity to work closely with school resource officers before getting hired by the Yorktown Police Department. Currently, Gino is attending the Westchester County Police Academy, and he is looking forward to protecting and serving in the community that he grew up in. And having stopped at the police academy today, I spoke to several of Gino's instructors who said he is just doing a great job down there. They also told me that we got a good one, and we already knew that when we hired you, because it is difficult to get a job here at the Yorktown Police Department. So I look forward to being at Gino's graduation in May. I think that's May 26th, correct? I got it right, huh? All right, so May 26th, and then when Gino gets back, he will have a field training officer tenure. Many of our field training officers are in attendance here in support of Gino and their other officers. And once he completes his field training, he will serve under the command of Lieutenant Justin Foley, our Patrol Division Commander. So at this time, please, let's welcome Officer Gino Argiro from the Yorktown Police Department. Please take the oath with Town Clerk Quast.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Gino Argiro,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that you will faithfully discharge the duties of
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of
police officer in the town of Yorktown,
police officer in the town of Yorktown,
according to the best of your ability.
according to the best of my abilities,
So help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
At this time, I'd like the Argiro family to please join us up on stage, especially Isabella Casatelli, who will be pinning the badge upon her boyfriend Gino. Isabella? At this time, Gino, a few words to the crowd.
Good afternoon. I'd like to thank Chief Noble, the command staff in the town of Yorktown for hiring me and allowing me to be a part of such a great department. In the future, I look forward to graduating the police academy, doing my field training, and serving my local community. Thank you.
And not to give away your age, but I don't think you'll mind. I believe you're the first someone born in 2000, correct? That we have here at the York. Yeah. When a few of us saw that, we really started looking in the mirror. So welcome, Gino. We're happy to have you. At this time, will Officer Christina Delatorre please join me on stage? Christina Delatorre grew up right here in Yorktown. She was a 2008 graduate of Lakeland High School,
Yeah.
where she was a member of the National Honor Society, the Multicultural Club, captain of the varsity cheerleading team. Christina then went on to attend the State University of New York at Stony Brook, where she graduated with a Bachelor of Science degree in Health Science. Christina is also a volunteer coach for the Shrub Oak Mini Hornets cheerleading team. Go Mini Hornets! In March 2013, Christina began to work for the NYPD as a police administrative aide. In January of 2015, she advanced her career and began the City of New York Police Department Police Academy, where she met her husband, Anton, who's here tonight. Christina finished the 6-month training course amongst the top 10% of her class academically and was within the top 5% of the females in the physical training portion. She then went on to serve in the 20th Precinct in Manhattan, the Detective Bureau in the Bronx, and in the NYPD Ceremonial Unit. Both of Christina's parents, who are here tonight, Marcel and Michelle, are retired NYPD detectives. Her husband, Anton, is a detective in the 4-7 precinct. And her sister, Leanna, who's here tonight, is a New York State court officer, amongst the many other family members in various police departments. Christina is the mother of 2 beautiful children who are here tonight, Penelope and Anton Jr., who are both very happy to have her working closer to home. And again, the theme, we went 3 for 3. We lose, when people retire, we lose quality people, really, really good people that we miss. But somehow we find a way to just keep getting better. We find outstanding people, to fill our ranks. And as I will tell anybody, it is not easy to get in our doors to become a Yorktown police officer. We only take the best. And I'm proud that Christina has joined us. She brings a lot of experience, a lot of enthusiasm, and I think you're here a week. You got an arrest already, right? You were involved in an arrest over the weekend, if I'm not mistaken. I think I saw your name, or you did help out with it. So again, I'm sure she's going to make a positive difference in this town, and let's give her a nice warm welcome, Christina Delatorre. Diana, you're up.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Christina Delatorre,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of
police officer for the town of Yorktown,
police officer for the town of Yorktown,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
At this time, I'd like to have the Delatorre and Geloshi family please come on up and join Christina. Anybody who'd like to come up?
Come on up.
Come on up.
Listen, that doesn't scare me. Come on up. And Anton's going to pin. Congratulations, Christina. And now a few words.
Good evening. I'd like to first thank Chief Noble and our command staff here and our town board for giving me this opportunity and trusting me to help keep our community safe. It has been such a smooth transition so far, so I'd like to thank the entire Yorktown Police Department for their warm welcome. I'd like to thank my parents, not only for their love and support, but also for instilling in me an unwavering trust and belief in our justice system. I would also like to thank my husband Anton and our children Penelope and AJ for their constant patience, love, support, and understanding. Although I left behind an amazing team in the NYPD, it is such an honor and privilege to be able to protect and serve this remarkable community. I am truly looking forward to a bright future here with my new YPD family.
My granddaughter's Penelope. Chief, I think that's the biggest family gathering we've had at a pinning in quite some time here. That was-
I think you're right.
I think, yeah,
I think you got it.
I think that one's here for the record books. Thank you, guys.
It was nice to see you all smiling too. So
Yeah.
that's a good thing. All right, and for the last time, I'd like to ask Sergeant Timothy Kochman to please step up. Sergeant Timothy Kochman attended Mayapack High School and graduated in 2002. There, he participated in varsity basketball, varsity cross country, and junior varsity lacrosse. In August 2002, he attended the New York City College of Technology, where he earned his degree in opticianry and later became a New York State licensed optician. Sergeant Kochman was hired by the Yorktown Police Department on January 4, 2008, and he's in his 16th year with the department. Sergeant Kochman was assigned as a sergeant in the patrol division, and his current duties include supervising our field training officer program of all new hires, along with the supervising of our domestic violence unit. Sergeant Kochman additionally maintains our Data Master breathalyzer certification and is part of our mental health awareness team. I'm going to stop right there in his bio just to point out the mental health awareness team. We do have a peer team, and to be on that team, there's 4 officers, and I just think that's an honor to be on that team. It means your coworkers trust you enough that when they're struggling, they'll find you and they'll talk to you. And it's not always easy to go into the chief's office, so we need people that people trust and people can count on. And Timmy's on that team. It speaks a lot to his character, so I just wanted to point that out tonight. Sergeant Kochman was previously assigned as a traffic safety officer in 2016. As the traffic safety officer, Sergeant Kochman was the departmental radar and commercial scales coordinator, where he prepared and maintained each unit to be certified by the state. In 2011, Sergeant Kochman was recognized for a burglary case where he apprehended the suspect who had fled a scene. For this, he was honored with the Meritorious Police Duty Commendation. In 2014, following a report of a fatal automobile accident, Sergeant Kochman took the initiative to investigate and pursue a number of leads associated with the case. Through teamwork and proactive resourcefulness, he set up a checkpoint with another officer, which resulted in the apprehension and arrest of the individual who struck and killed a 72-year-old Yorktown resident and had left the scene. And that, again, sometimes you make your own luck, ladies and gentlemen. I can remember being out on East Main Street looking to see who hit and run and left Georgia Turner in that road that night to die. And I thank God that we found out who did that. And we found out that subject was on his way to a body shop, actually, to either have that car crushed or fixed. So it was a great arrest. For this, Sergeant Kochman was honored with the Meritorious Police Duty Commendation. Sergeant Kochman has been an asset to this department and is looking forward to his new assignment as the Staff Division Lieutenant. I couldn't be happier to promote Timmy tonight. He's a hard worker, and he's got great character, and he's been a pleasure to have since he's been here. With his work ethic, everybody here will benefit with Sergeant Kochman being promoted to lieutenant in his new role as Staff Division Commander. And he's again, we try to get better, and he's hitting the ground running already. He had his first day basically today, where he helped me with something, and he got it done pretty quickly. I was fairly impressed. So thank you for that, Tim, and I'm sure many more days will come. As the Staff Division Commander, he's in charge of all the desk personnel, sworn and unsworn. He's going to assist and primarily prepare our budget preparation. All non-sworn staff, all of our office assistants, our cleaners, everybody who's not a sworn police officer falls under the command of Lieutenant Kochman. Our building maintenance, our freedom of information requests, FOIL requests, and we get plenty of them. So he'll be in charge of that. Our records management system, which seems to change by the month a lot of times, and he has to prepare payroll every other week. Those are just samples of his duties. We're a team, so he'll be helping Patrol Division Commander Lieutenant Foley and Operations Lieutenant James Graham. We all pulled together to make it work, and I am very, very excited for Lieutenant Timothy Kochman. Tim, go take the oath, and Diana, this is for real. This is not ceremonial.
I just want to take a moment to say how honored I am to be able to swear in all of our police officers. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Timothy Kochman,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of
that I will faithfully discharge the duties of
Police Lieutenant for the Yorktown Police Department
Police Lieutenant for the Yorktown Police Department
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my
so
ability.
help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
I do need you to stand.
At this time, I'd like the Kolkman family to please step up. Anybody who'd like to come up, please do. And Tim's wife, Jackie, is going to pin the lieutenant's shield on her husband, Tim. Lieutenant Timothy Coltman, ladies and gentlemen. Timothy Coltman. At this time, I'd like to ask Lieutenant Coltman, please come up and say a few words.
Bless you.
I would like to start off by saying that it is a true honor to be here tonight. This is an incredibly exciting yet humbling time for me. First and foremost, I would like to thank Chief Noble, Lieutenant Graham, Lieutenant Foley, and retired Lieutenant JD for this great opportunity. JD, thank you for your support. Your knowledge and guidance has been vital in preparing me for this role. I would also like to thank Supervisor Diana and all the members of the town board for entrusting in me this great responsibility. I look forward to working with each of you in the future. I would not be here today without the unwavering support of my entire family, especially my wife, Jacqueline, my partner, and my biggest supporter. You are my rock, and I absolutely cherish our family and life together. We also have two amazing boys here today, Brantley and Nixon. I would have never gotten to this point in my life without you guys. Most importantly, I accept this position in honor of Captain Kenny Scroy. Kenny was a great man, a good friend, and someone I looked up to both personally and professionally. I will make sure I do my very best to make Kenny proud. Captain Kenny Scroy's legacy will live on forever. Lastly, congratulations to the new officers who stand here with me tonight, Officer Argerio, Officer Delgado, and Officer Delatorre. You all have come to one of the greatest police departments in Westchester County. Here at the Yorktown Police Department, our thin blue line runs deep. I feel privileged to be stepping into the position of lieutenant and will continuously support every rank within this family. Thank you.
All right, there's a few things before we vacate. Well, first, happy birthday, Luciana. I don't know if I was supposed to spill the beans, but happy birthday. Thanks for being here with us tonight. The Lieutenant Kolkman spoke of Captain Kenny Scroy, and this is the first time we've appeared publicly in front of this town board since the unthinkable tragedy happened that knocked us as an agency to our knees. But with the help of this community and our families, and especially this town board, you see just look before you. Look at the men and women of this police department who ring this room and showed up tonight in support of their brothers and sisters. Again, you can't put a price on the culture of a police department and the family atmosphere, and I am proud every day to work with the men and women of this police department. Truly, New York State's finest and New York State's best. If you can find, and this is no knock on any agency, but if you can find another one that has what we has, I'd like to see it. They make my job and the lieutenant's jobs all that much more easier. And, you know, to have somebody, as, you know, Lieutenant Copeman alluded to, you know, JD's in the crowd tonight, he's back there, and he doesn't want any attention, but, you know, we had to handle the transition right. We couldn't get this wrong in replacing our brother Kenny, and there is no replacing him, but the position has to be filled. You know, life goes on, and to be able to do this, it was delicate, and it had to be done right, as I said. And JD, thank you very much for saying yes when I asked you to come in and help us. I couldn't appreciate it. I'm sure your officers appreciate it very, very much. So if I can get a hand for Lieutenant John DiUlio. And, you know, this doesn't happen everywhere. It really doesn't. You look out in this room, and it doesn't happen. This police department is outstanding. And anybody who asks me on the street, anywhere you go, that's it. You have, if you're a resident of this town, this is the backbone of your town. They go out there and get it done. And there's more and more things happening in this community. You know, whether it's people just organized crime, the retail thefts, they're hitting every suburban community. And they're up here, police pursuits, vehicle pursuits, multiple pursuits through Westchester County, and they're happening here in Yorktown. And we have to make the decision, you know, to cut it off when life is threatened and the property just isn't valuable enough. But with everything that's thrown at us, we just continue to get it done. And it's just because outstanding training, the leadership, the administration, the lieutenants, second to none. And not only do they lead, but they do it with empathy. And we're there for each other. If one of us struggles, all of us struggle. And that's the way it's got to be. And that's the way we run our ship. And that's why you see everybody, you know, the turnout that you have tonight. It's truly, it's not an act. This is the way we roll, and I couldn't be prouder of it. So PBA President Sam Sansone is here. Vice President Tim Curtin's here. A lot of the PBA board is here to support, and we've got veteran officers like Mike P. back there and Rap, and newer officers, you know, and geez, Tiffany and Joyce, I'm looking at you guys, but I'm looking for kind of people that are just, you know, they're going to be here for a while, and they're going to be part of this team. And again, they make us better. And again, you know, I'm on my back nine, and I'm so glad to come to work every day and work with them. So if I can get a round of applause for the men and women of the Yorktown Police Department. And I meant what I said about this town board. Anything that we needed as an agency, and they're still helping us, you know, finish our commitment and our pledge to Kenny and his family. You know, as people, I couldn't be prouder to serve under a board. Everybody here, Diana, you know, everybody here, you guys have been just amazing to our agency. You continue to be the support that you give us. Really, you can't put a price on it. There's a lot of nonsense in a lot of towns with a lot of boards, and everybody loves a train wreck. I thank you guys for not being a train wreck, and I thank you all for having our backs, which they know. And that's important, that they go out there and know that they are respected and appreciated when they lay their life on the line every day. You know, not many people wear a vest and carry a gun every day and have the tremendous amount of responsibilities that these men and women carry, and they do it so well. And I'm proud to say I have an example of that, if you'll allow me. I have our 2022 use of force report with me, and every year we share our use of force statistics on our website. It's no secret, you know, what we do, but we make hundreds of arrests, you know, whether it's felonies, whether it's vehicle and traffic, you know, where we have to put people in handcuffs, and we got to take them and get them before a judge sometimes. And you know, I am proud to say that there were 0 use of force complaints. Nobody complained of any injuries in 2022 associated with the necessary use of force that sometimes we need to use. There were 42 instances of hands-on force without the subject of use of force being injured by that use of force. And so that you know, if there is one person, and it takes 3 people to use force necessary to make the arrest, we count that as 3. We don't cheat. We are out there and above board on these numbers. And of the 42 instances of hands-on force, use of force, 27 were associated with people in mental crisis, emotionally disturbed people, or somebody just having, their worst day. And until you actually deal with somebody who is emotionally disturbed or in the midst of a mental health crisis, you have no idea what you're dealing with. No idea. You may think you do, but you don't. And that these men and women that ring this room represented this town in that manner, you're not going to get better. You can't get any better than that. So I thank them again for the professional job that they do, and that there's no injuries. It tells you something. Not only do they de-escalate, they non-escalate. And most of the time we get compliance, and it's because of the character of the people that wear the uniform for the town of Yorktown. So I thank you again for supporting us, and I thank everybody for their time and courtesy this evening. And we will continue to do this job right. We're going to do it for our brother Kenny. And again, I thank you for the Act of Kindness Day that we just had and that we will have going forward. And I will share with everybody and anybody who's watching the broadcast, we will collect through the end of the month. Anybody who wants to donate and didn't get a chance to, we're going to get it to Hope Store, and we will get it to United for the Troops. Jimmy Ratschmidt showed me boxes that he had prepared with a note from me to the troops that went out today, going to Africa, Asia, all over the world for our troops. So if anybody still wants to donate in our brother Kenny's name, we will take those donations through the end of the month, and we will get them to where they need to be. So again, thank you all so much. I've gone on enough. Welcome to our new officers, and to Lieutenant Kolkman, job well done. Thank you, everybody.
Before all these officers depart, I think most of them know from where I come. And I am proud to have the men and women of this department serve this town. And all of the people of the town of Yorktown should be as proud as me, because there's not a better police department, as far as I'm concerned, in the United States. Thank you. Thank every one of you. Thank you, Chief. All right, we'll give everybody just a minute that want to file out to do so. We want to thank you all for coming tonight and to celebrate your police department and our promotions here. It's wonderful to have you all here. Wasn't that a great ceremony, folks? You know, we owe it to our police force that keeps us safe on a daily basis, and all our VEMS, first responders, our fire department, and everybody that takes care of us, especially our first line of defenses with our PD, our fire department, our EMS. They're all the best.
Oh, wait for the last to shuffle out. 2 weeks ago, I had the pleasure of going down county with the chief for a presentation with the FBI. which was Operation Outstretched Arms for how to defend against anti-Semitism in our temples and shuls and bullying in the schools. And there were 2 speakers from the FBI, a gentleman from Up County, and Chief Noble. And afterwards, there were more people around Chief Noble asking questions about his presentation. And just the job doesn't end here for our men and women in blue. They take it home, take it to the shuls, they take it to the mosques, the churches. So we really thank them for that.
All right. I think we're ready to move forward here. All right. I'd like to ask Anna Madera to come up to the podium and read a proclamation for World Down Syndrome Day. I'm sorry.
Riley, want to come on? Go ahead, bud. Tara can go too. Yeah, Mama.
Thank you. I want to first say Happy Down Syndrome Awareness Day. I was honored to receive a call to be asked to come here and read this proclamation, knowing that how dear it was to us. So I will begin. Whereas World Down Syndrome Day is observed on the 21st day of March every year, which has been officially observed by the United Nations since 2012. And whereas Down syndrome is a disorder that occurs when there is a duplication of the 21st chromosome that affects approximately 6,000 babies at birth every year. And whereas the date for World Down Syndrome Awareness Day is the 21st day of the 3rd of the month to signify the uniqueness of the triplication of the 21st chromosome, which causes Down syndrome. Whereas World Down Syndrome Day is a day to raise public awareness, promote inclusivity, encourage advocacy, and support the well-being of those individuals living with Down syndrome. Whereas the town of Yorktown vows to come together and raise awareness of those individuals living with Down syndrome.
Thank you, Anna.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gianna. And thank you guys for coming.
Say thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, baby girl.
Now there, be it resolved that I, as duly elected town supervisor of Yorktown, Thomas P. Diana, along with the members of my town board, do hereby declare March 21st, 2023, Down Syndrome Awareness Day in the town of Yorktown. Thank you all so much. Would you folks mind if we took a picture with you? Is that okay? Gianna, what do you think? Want to take a picture?
Come on, bud. I see you.
We're going to come down to you guys.
We're going to come down to you guys. right.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Diana. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, let's do the youth council.
Where are they? Right there.
Yeah.
Bye, Riley.
Bye, Riley.
Bye, Riley.
Bye, Gianna.
Say hi to everybody at home. Bye, Jay.
These kids are so special. They really are, you know, and they deserve a special place in our community, you know, and recognition that we can, the little bit of recognition that we can give them here tonight probably means the world to them and their families. So, you know, we're more than happy to do that. So, like I said, we've been bouncing around a little bit here tonight because of the presentation and this. I didn't want to keep the little ones up too late, and I know that we had the presentation here, and you know we had a lot of the children of the officers here, so I was bouncing around to try and get them home so that they can get to bed and do what they have to do tonight. So, yes, we're going back to the front.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right, we're going to go to reports. Report from the town supervisor. Okay. You know, today marks 20 years since we lost our beloved friend, Harrison Apar. Please continue to keep his family and friends in your thoughts and prayers. Harrison's dad, Bruce Apar, his mother, Elise, and of course, his sister, Elisa. This September marks 20 years since the Pine Tree Field was renamed Harrison Apar Field of Dreams. 20 years ago, Yorktown students Brendan Frail and Allison Belcastro, but it's almost like Jenna's name, spearheaded the town-wide petition to collect 1,200 signatures to change the name of the Pine Tree Ball Field. This September, there will be a ceremony of the 20th anniversary of Harrison Apar's Field of Dreams, date to be determined. Harrison loved baseball, and I was at the field last year when they threw the ball out in Harrison's remembrance, and one of the young men there gave a little speech for him. It was very nice. And we were teasing about Lakeland High School before, and this isn't Lakeland High School, but it's in the Lakeland School District. I'm proud to announce that the Walter Panis girls basketball team has won the Class A regional champs in basketball, New York State. Class A state champs. Let's all give them a round of applause. This is a big deal, folks, for them. And maybe we'll have them come in at some point in time, and we'll meet them all. We have this weekend, once again, if you missed this past weekend, this weekend, March 26th and 27th, starting at the Grange Fair, they will be doing a pancake breakfast with local maple syrup, local bacon, and local sausage, which was very good. From that point, that starts at 9 o'clock and goes to 11, I believe. And after that, you can make your way down to the White Oak Farm, which is at the intersection of Route 118 and 129. It's just up a little bit from Route 118, where you can go and get an introductory into maple syrup making. This year was a little tough for the maple syrup industry because of the way the lack of rain that we had and the amount of the amount of sap that it takes to make the syrup. So they have concluded their maple syrup boiling to make and bottle the maple syrup. But they are giving demonstrations and so forth down there. Very interesting. I went to both last weekend, and very informative. Many people, believe it or not, people are finding our Grange Fair. I had people there from Brooklyn. I had people from Manhattan, and they've also found the White Oak Farm. So go down there. Maybe you could buy yourself a nice bottle of that pure maple syrup from right here in Yorktown, right up on Turkey Mountain. It's great stuff. And then we have tomorrow is the Senior Speaker Series. Presenting sponsor will be Edison Home and Healthcare, the benefit of a home health attendant. It'll be Wednesday, March 22nd, 10:30 a.m. at the Jefferson Valley Mall, lower level in the Macy's wing. Hot coffee and light refreshments will be served. And this is sponsored by our Yorktown Chamber of Commerce, who does a wonderful job with a lot of the things in this town, that the events that happen and so on. So at this point, I'm going to start from my left and go ahead with the...
Okay, so thanks, Supervisor. As you know, Team Parks and Rec here. What happens in the summer is we open up our fantastic camps, and Yorktown is now looking for camp counselors, specialists, directors. You must be 15 and older. The applications can be found on our local website. On the town website, you will also be able to call them, and their number is listed there at 914, that's 914-245-4650. These are paid positions, so not volunteership, paid positions, and they're based on your background and your experience. So let's have a fun summer and make sure that we are all counselor proofed and ready to roll so that our kids are watched and they can enjoy in their most wildest selves over there at the Grange. That's all.
That's it.
Okay. Mary?
Happy birthday, Luciana.
Happy
Thank
birthday
you.
to Luciana.
Last time we
Yeah.
say.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, I just have two very short things. Arbor Day is coming up in May, so we are looking for, they're having their poster contest. This year's theme is The Life of a Leaf. Submissions are due by April 18th. And as always, just check the Yorktown website. The community calendar lists everything. That's it for me.
All right. Ed?
All right. Well, I have a few things just to report on committees that I sit on. Well, this one actually is not a committee, but the Battle of Yorktown is going to be held on Saturday, April 22nd. You can call our refuse and recycling at 914-245-4438 to register. Great day of community service where we go around and clean up the town of Yorktown and pick up tons of garbage. Our senior advisory meeting was postponed from last week. It is this Friday, the 24th, right here in Town Hall. 1 p.m. it starts. I'm not sure who the speaker is this month, but it's always a very informative meeting. From the Veterans Committee, Vietnam Veterans Day at the New York State Capitol is going to be Wednesday, 3/29. There's going to be a ceremony on the floor of the Assembly from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. If anyone is interested that served in Vietnam, please call me. We have one of our local residents who has agreed to try to get together a bus to bring people up. You'll get lunch up there, get a tour of the Capitol, be recognized, take home a copy of the proclamation. It's a really nice thing. It was started by Senator Terrence Murphy, and it's just a great celebration that will keep on going. You could reach out to me at 914-393-1447 or see me after the meeting. The Chamber of Commerce is having its 2023 Spring Market and Car Show Sunday, April 30th from 11 to 4 at the Jefferson Valley Mall. They are looking for sponsors and vendors as well as people who want to enter their car in the car show. And finally, just want to wish those that are celebrating a happy and healthy Ramadan and an easy fast.
Thank you, Ed. Okay. We're going to move on. We have another presentation tonight from the Yorktown Youth Council. Would you folks like to come up? I had the pleasure of going to one of your meetings a month or so ago, and that was a good one, right? With the and there's one young lady here that just loves puppies and Labradors, and I think when they let the puppy go, when they let the dog go, do you want to pet him? Yeah, yeah.
If I had known, I would have brought Bentley to the meeting, my lab.
That was really amazing. Well, hello, everyone. I haven't been before you in person for the longest time, so I'm thrilled to be here. I'm Liz Talbert. I'm with the Alliance for Safe Kids, and I'm here with some wonderful members from the Yorktown Youth Council. But before I turn things over to them, I just wanted to share a little bit of information from ASK. ASK is a community coalition in the town of Yorktown. We have been incorporated since 2006, and we share resources and vital information on topics like youth mental health, substance misuse, recovery, and treatment. And we certainly couldn't do any of that effectively without the voice of our youth guiding us and letting us know what their needs are and getting feedback from them. So we're making sure that when we're sharing important resources, it's something that is going to resonate with them. So I appreciate them all so very much. I also wanted to let you know about something that was, I believe it was shared with the community in December. But Drug Crisis in Our Backyard, which is another local organization, is dissolving as a 501c3. We have worked very closely with them over the years, and going forward, the Alliance for Safe Kids is going to be the fiscal sponsor for Drug Crisis in Our Backyard, which means we're doing the heavy lifting in terms of paperwork and grant writing and things like that, and really taking care of the business end of things for them, so that they may continue to just focus their energies on the wonderful services they provide. One of which is a family support network that they offer meetings for family and friends of those that are impacted by substance misuse and addiction, twice a week, every Tuesday and Wednesday on Zoom. I have also witnessed when a community member reached out to me because of my role at the Alliance for Safe Kids, when someone needed some help, and I quickly connected them with members from Drug Crisis in Our Backyard. I saw how they just stopped everything that they were doing to help this family in crisis and connect them to the vital resources that they needed. They also have been doing this for a couple of years now, offering free naloxone, otherwise known as Narcan, trainings on Zoom every third Thursday of the month without fail. More recently, we have been assisting them to coordinate additional trainings in addition to that running monthly Zoom meeting. Because as I know, Supervisor Diana, Trissy and I had spoken with you about our attendance at a national conference. And one of the most impactful presentations I heard there was from the DEA. And they said, this is no longer a war on drugs. This is just about saving lives, and Narcan saves lives. And as a caring community, I really hope that as we're moving forward in the coming months, that every sector of the community will find a way to get some of their members trained to use Narcan. It couldn't be easier. I know you're probably seeing it on the news every day. There's something about fentanyl and Narcan on the news. It couldn't be easier to use. We've spoken to our youth about it. We have a really amazing group of youth volunteers that feel that the Narcan should be as available as a defibrillator, and that everyone should be trained in it. Because if someone's showing signs of an overdose, you administer the Narcan with 2 squirts up the nose. If they're not, there's no harm, no foul is done to that individual. So you're going to be hearing more about that. And I also wanted to share with you that we have a very robust monthly email that covers all of the topics that I mentioned, and also is relevant not to just parents of teens. It's relevant to anyone in the community with children of any age, or grandchildren, or babysitters that come in contact with their children. Again, as a caring community member, to just simply sign up to receive this information that could potentially be life-saving, even if it's something that doesn't directly impact you. You may be talking to a friend who finds out that their family is struggling, and you say, you know what, I saw this resource, you know, in the email from the Alliance for Safe Kids. And I don't know if you're all aware, but you're sharing the email every month in your Yorktown newsletter. Since May of last year, there is a link to the monthly email. And as wonderful as that is, I would really appreciate individuals signing up for the email, because that helps us to know how far our reach is, who we're connecting with. And then if there's additional information we need to send out, then we have that mailing list. You know, we're not just relying on a link being shared elsewhere. So I would encourage people to go to allianceforsafekids.org, sign up for the email, follow us on social media, because, you know, we're very active there. I know that you are all signed up, whether you know it or not, to receive the email, because I did that for you, just to be helpful.
Thank you, Liz.
And I wanted you to know that in the next edition of the Ask newsletter, there's going to be a new section called Facts on Fentanyl. And we really weighed the wording of that. You know, we thought, should it be softer? And then, you know, we heard from some other professionals and said, nope, absolutely not. That's it. Everyone needs to be aware of what is going on with fentanyl, and how this counterfeit, you know, pill, how the counterfeit pills are so readily available to our youth. It could be a high school student who's studying for exams and is having a hard time staying awake, and goes on Snapchat and orders one pill, not knowing that it's a counterfeit pill that has been tainted with fentanyl. So again, this is just all such important information that I really encourage the community to stay plugged into. And again, I'm so grateful for the youth that I'm standing here with, because they have been so helpful. So now, to tell you a little bit about the Youth Council, last May, Supervisor Slater said, you know, we would really like to have a more organized youthful voice for the community. So Liz, can you help? And because I am unable to actually formulate the word no, I said, of course. So the first thing we did, we realized that we needed to pull together like a focus group. So I reached out to the local schools, the guidance departments, principals, and asked for some recommendations, and invited those students to work with us over the summer. And we put together, now remember, this has never existed before. So we were starting, you know, at baseline. So, but we had some really wonderful, engaged students who you know, met multiple times over the summer. And then in October, we felt comfortable sharing the application widely with all of the middle school students and high school students in the area. So to date, we have about 30, just a little under 30 members on the Youth Council from both school districts, middle school and high school students. We meet once a month. We are plugged into the library, the Chamber of Commerce, the town. We've had the opportunity to actually have meetings here at different sites in the community. Jenna has been so helpful. She coordinated the Guiding Eyes visit, and at the library, and I know we met someplace else. Oh my gosh, forgive me. And we've also been working at the Ask office, or meeting at the Ask office, and having what I call work sessions, because as wonderful as it is to meet with Chamber of Commerce, as wonderful as it is to meet with key leaders in the community, we realize that we need like a month in between to really work on the great ideas that the students have. So we're kind of still in a pilot stage, trying to really fine-tune and define what a Yorktown Youth Council means. I know we're really excited about the next school year, because we are going to have more things in place and can really invite and encourage even more students to come. And as I mentioned, the different things that we're plugged into, we want to have different committees for each one. So there's a student liaison for the Chamber of Commerce, for the library, for the Parks and Rec Department, for the town, and also with Robin, because she just added a page on the town website for the Yorktown Youth Council. So there's lots of balls in motion. Yeah, there's just so much going on, and it's so exciting. No. It's so exciting. So, and the energy from, and this is just a small representation of the group, the energy from the group is, it's contagious, and it just makes you want to listen and work with them. And just find out what it is they need from the community. So, without further ado, I'll allow them to introduce themselves and share some information with you.
Great. Thanks, Liz.
Hi everyone, thank you so much again for providing us with your time tonight to formally introduce the new Yorktown Youth Council that we're very excited about. I just want to quickly thank Supervisor Diana and Liz for giving us this time tonight. So the Youth Council started, as Liz mentioned, this past summer, and it's been great, and we want to share updates on what we've been working on and our future goals of what we want this Youth Council to be like in this town. But before we go into that, I just want to briefly state our mission statement and our goal. So, as the Yorktown Youth Council, we want to promote positive, interactive involvement of the youth within our communities through facilitating discussions that talk about our ideas, comments, concerns, or improvements that we want to pitch in to our communities and implement those through youth-driven projects. And so, as Liz kind of touched on already, we've been starting since the summer through a pretty wide selected group of recommendations, and we're hoping in the future to grow and expand our youth council through creating separate committees, subcommittees, that'll work on specific projects or are directed towards specific departments of different aspects within the town. And then each leader of that subcommittee would create some sort of executive council where they would establish an organized structure of the youth council. And so since it's a pilot group, we aren't completely sure what we want to do yet. And so we've been taking inspiration from existing youth councils throughout the country and compiling that into a list of what we want our youth council to be like. And coming into this upcoming school year, we're hoping to expand our participants and create a more structured, organized layout of the youth council and become even more involved than we are right now. And we're going to talk about a little bit about what we've been working on so far with Devin.
Great.
Great.
And what is your name?
Minar. I'm a junior at Yorktown High School.
Hi, Minar. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
So hi, I'm Devin. I'm a sophomore at Yorktown. Back in December, the Youth Council had a meeting with the Chamber of Commerce at the JV Mall. And in this meeting, we kind of discussed the struggles of finding a job as a teenager. As students, we require jobs with flexible schedules. We are very busy with sports and schools and extracurriculars. We talked about the struggles of finding a job, but also once you find that job, the struggles of going through the interview process. These things create so much anxiety that sometimes it discourages people from even trying. After this meeting, Minar and I had the privilege of continuing to work with the Chamber of Commerce. We've been continuing our meetings, and we've kind of formulated a plan where we want to produce a session of interview preparedness. Through this, we want to go through things like how to build a resume, how to answer questions, how to, communicate with your boss about your needs, but also communicate and find out if this job is good for you. We also would love to create a youth job fair. There are many job fairs that exist in your town, but we want to find one and we want to make one that is focused on people our age. We want to focus on jobs that are targeted for teenagers. So we hope that this May we will begin to see these ideas become reality, and we are extremely excited to continue working with the Chamber of Commerce. So thank you.
It's great, Devin.
Thanks, Devin. That's great.
Hi, my name is Jillian. I'm a freshman at Yorktown High School.
Hi, Jillian.
I've been working with the Youth Council, and I just wanted to say how involved we have been with the library. The Hart Library has played like a huge role, and we've been able to work together to help the youth have a greater role in the community, which is why I joined the council, because I am passionate about getting my voice heard and people my age, which is difficult being a teenager, so it's really nice to be able to share our ideas. So with the library, we've been working on like a teen space we've been collaborating and brainstorming on ways that we can have teens work together. We also raised the idea of like a teen book fair, so things just to get teens more involved in the community. I'm also a member of ASK, as Liz mentioned, which is the Alliance for Safe Kids. So the shirt I'm wearing today, it says Inspire Kindness, and it was actually created by a student at the Yorktown High School. So it was created in, I believe it was last year, 2022. It was, I went to a meeting, I made my own t-shirt, and I realized how great this initiative was, so I spread it with the middle school. So Mildred E. Strang, I brought it to a club. I worked on it with teachers. We gave it to the principals. It was just really great to be able to see kindness be spread through just a shirt, and it's just really amazing how one shirt can really unite so many people. So I decided that I was going to do it again this year because we had more shirts, and even though I'm in the high school now, I've reached out to some former teachers of mine, and I am coming back to give the shirts again, and we can wear them more. Actually, today one of my friends showed up to school wearing her shirt, and it wasn't even planned at all. So it's just like people wear the shirts, and it's just a really nice way to spread kindness, along with many other things that we're doing. So I'm just really excited to elaborate more on that and see what the youth has to offer.
Thank you, Jen.
Thank you, Jillian. It seems like you're going to be an aspiring entrepreneur for a T-shirt printing company. That's what it seems like now.
We wanted to let you know that Jenna is going to be, you're going to be getting the sizes together for everyone who's sitting up here, and we're going to get all of you an Inspire Kindness t-shirt.
You got to go to the microphone. Too late, Tom. Sorry.
I'm Aria Servideo. I'm in 7th grade, and I go to Mildred E. Strang Middle School.
Hi, Aria.
Hi. I joined the Yorktown Youth Council because I thought it would be really fun, and I wanted to make a difference in my community. And I was definitely right. I've had a lot of fun so far, and I can't wait to see what we do next.
That's great.
And it's great. You know, the kids young adults never cease to amaze me on what they do. This is our future, ladies and gentlemen, and good future that you can see right here. And under the direction of Liz and Trishy, when they go through their stuff from ASK and Narcan and drug awareness and mental health and so on and so forth, it is so needed in the community. I think I did about 100 Narcan trainings several years ago. It's still out there. It's still a thing, and it just needs to happen. And I want to thank you for picking up the ball on that and running with it because, you know, what a lot of people don't realize is that even though you have the Narcan, what's the first thing you do, kids? Do you know? Dial 911, okay? And with the young adults that we have out there, it's probably the hardest thing to do because they think they're ratting out their friend who may be overdosing, but it's not. You're saving their lives. Call 911, administer Narcan. If nothing happens when you administer the Narcan, you still have EMS coming, and maybe they're not overdosing, but something's going on. So you're saving their lives. So for any kids that may be watching this, I don't know how many there'd be out there, but for any kids that may be watching this, or even parents that watch it, tell your kids, you're not going to get in trouble. You're not going to get, right? You're not getting in trouble for calling 911 because one of your pals is down and out. So I just had to bring that to the forefront, and thank you guys, you know.
Thank you, ladies.
I'd like to be invited to one of your meetings.
Absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
easy.
I would love that.
When
And I just want to thank you guys for being so brave to
Yeah.
share your mission.
Sorry, I shouldn't be talking from the side. We share the meeting dates and the agenda with Supervisor Diana.
Yep.
every
Yeah, I
month.
would love that.
Yep,
If
I'll let you know.
And maybe I have some resources I can share with you guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
She'd be great for you guys to a little talk with them. I think
Yeah.
that would be really good.
And
Really
I'd be
good.
happy to wear some shirts.
There we go.
There's
So
our
get
little
me in on one of
entrepreneur
those
right
things.
there. She's
But
advertising.
I do want to say how brave it is to come on TV and to stand before
Yeah.
us and your voice was heard.
You guys
All of
did
your
awesome.
voices were heard.
Awesome.
And I can't wait to see what you're gonna do. Yeah, thank
See
you.
you guys in
Thank
the
you,
future.
ladies.
Thank you so much. Liz, thank you for everything you and Trishy do.
Thank you, Liz.
All right. We're going to move on to our poet laureate, John McMullen.
Boy, that's a tough act to follow.
It is, right?
Today is World Poetry Day also, by the way.
Ah.
That March 2023 has been designated by the Yorktown Town Board as Irish American Heritage Month. So I have a little poem about that. Irish voice. I used to get angry, or at least perturbed, when my wife of Philadelphia birth and German Polish heritage. That was a nasty combination, which neither family approved, but the union produced a goddess would refer to me as Irish. I'm not Irish, I would bellow, I'm American. The Irish killed each other for religious reasons, used the feast of a Catholic saint as an excuse to get drunk and foolish, as if we needed an excuse, and were generally disreputable. I refused to wear green on St. Patrick's Day and generally disavowed my heritage. I know little of this heritage other than the fact that the British had overrun them and made them part of the empire. But they had done it to Canadians, Australians, Indians, and they hadn't become objects of jokes and ridicule. I didn't understand the difference between the Revolution and the Civil War. In short, I might as well have been a Brit. Of course, I grew up in an Irish Catholic neighborhood. Thanked the maker for my 4 grandparents, got on the boat in Ireland, drank in all the bars, to listen to Ruthie Morrissey singing Rockaway, and behaved like the rest of the mix. It was only when I began to read the poetry and literature of Moore, Synge, Yeats, and Thomas, I began to feel the culture that already flowed through my veins. When I read Bernadette Devlin writing of the present-day economic inequities, my anger boiled. And when I read the work of the McCourts, I began to understand from whence I came. So if you're not Irish, I respect your heritage, but I'm sorry for your troubles. Now, if you don't know that expression, I'm sorry for your troubles. It's something that many older Irish say at wakes. They don't want to say anything about the guy in the coffin. They'll walk up to the person and say, "I'm sorry for your troubles." I always laughed about that. And when I interviewed Mr. Wright and Mary Higgins Clark years ago, she mentioned that she and her husband had always laughed about that. And then her husband became terminally ill. And when he died, his mother was standing by the bed, and she died of a heart attack. So Mary Higgins Clark had a wake for the both of them. And some little Irish chap came up to her, put his hand on her arm and said, "I'm sorry for your double troubles." And she embarrassed herself by getting hysterical at the wake. Thank you for putting up with
That's
me.
where it came from.
Thank you, John.
Thanks, John.
Okay, we're going to open up courtesy of the floor. Anybody interested in courtesy of the floor? Come on up, Paul. And as a reminder, you can always contact us. You don't have to wait for courtesy of the floor. You can always call Town Hall, our town officials, our town departments. We are here to work for you. You can visit us on the town website, www.yorktownny.org. You can find all the contact information for everybody here on the dais, town clerk, and even the town attorney, and of course your elected officials. As a reminder, there's a 3-minute time limit for your comments for courtesy of the floor. We ask that you keep them directed to the town board, and we ask, as always, that your comments remain focused and respectful. The floor is yours, Paul.
Thank you. Hello, Paul Moskowitz, President of the Huntersville Association. I don't do poetry.
We were hoping for poetry.
Well, we'll see.
Okay.
In any case, recently a strange box has appeared along the side of Hunter Brook Road, and I gave our town clerk a photograph. I can hold this up. And what we see is an electrical box. There is no identification with it. We do not know who put it there. But also what we see is a good section of wetlands by the side of the road was filled in. So I have a couple of questions. First question is, who put this box there and what does it do? It seems to me as a scientist that it doesn't make sense to put electrical apparatus in wetlands because sooner or later there's going to be a flood and the box will be ruined and it'll short out and it'll pose a danger. But I'd like to know who did this And I'd also like to know whether the town of Yorktown gave them a wetlands permit, or they just came by and filled in a few hundred square feet of wetlands, because that's where they decided their box should go. That's it.
I'm not sure what that is, Paul, and I know that they've been restringing some of the fiber optics. We'll let everybody come up, then I'll go back, so maybe that's it, I don't know.
Okay, thank you.
Good evening, everybody. Mark Lieberman,
Good
Wells
evening, Mark.
Street.
Hey, Mark.
So, two quick items. One is, and as you just mentioned, Optimum, I guess is their latest name, is stringing cable all around the town, and wherever they're stringing cable, there's a police officer watching the traffic, I guess. And I'm just curious, are we still getting paid overtime for that police work? I think that was the practice over the years. And the second item is somebody told me that there will be, or it has already begun, a traffic study along Route 6 and 202, including Yorktown, Cortland, Peekskill, and the State Department of Transportation, or Traffic, I mean. And if you could comment on that, I'd like to know more about it. Thank you.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
Hi, good evening, Susan Siegel. I'd appreciate some updates. I have 4 specific questions. One deals with the Halleck's Mill Sewer Extension Project. In December, we were told that the state controller needed some more updated cost information for the project, and that those numbers were to be available by late January, early February. So my question is, are updated costs available? And if so, when will they be made public, or do you anticipate some delay in getting them? The second question deals with the proposed 250-unit senior development on the former contractor's register site. Earlier this month, the board adopted a seeker Part 3 positive declaration, also known as a POSDEC. I have no issue with the POSDEC. In fact, I think it was the absolute right decision for you to make. But my question is this: since the Part 3 is based on the town board reviewing Parts 1 and 2 of the environmental impact form, which are prepared by the developer, when did the town board review Parts 1 and 2? Because I didn't hear anything done at a public session. My third question is about my FOIL request for copies of subpoenas and the town attorney's verbal statement that he would not confirm or deny the existence of any such statement. The Freedom of Information Law specifically gives citizens the ability to require that the town certify in writing that after conducting a diligent search, the town does not have the record being sought. Citing that provision of the law, I emailed the town attorney on February 27th and again on March 7th asking for such certification. And all members of the town board were copied on those emails. I have not received a response yet, so I'd like to know when I can expect a response to my certification request. Again, that's not an issue of denying the request on whatever grounds. It's does the subpoena exist? Does the record exist? My fourth question returns to Halleck's Mill Sewers. In January of 2022, the town happily announced that it had received a $5.8 million grant to upgrade 4 pump stations in the Halleck's Mill district. They anticipated that work would begin in the mid-2022. Can you give us an update on the status of that grant, and has any work been started on getting together bid specs? Thank you.
Thank you, Susan.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Sarah.
Sarah Wilson, 31-year resident, 32-year resident of Yorktown Heights. During the courtesy of the floor segment of the town board meeting 2 weeks ago, I was highlighting the upcoming Yorktown 100 Y Electric School Bus event at the Hart Library. And, you know, as you know, during courtesy of the floor, you know, we can speak and then you may or may not respond. So I just wanted to take an opportunity to respond to the response during my short 3 minutes here. Supervisor Diana, you noted that electric school buses are, quite a bit better than double the cost of a regular bus, and that's a problem. And that's absolutely correct. A typical bus may run $150,000 or so, and an electric school bus could run $350,000. So you've got a big delta there. But, the one thing I wanted to point out is there is significant funding available through NYSERDA and other sources that can really close that gap. So just wanted to kind of make that clear. And if you're taking an old bus, 2009 or earlier, off the streets and replacing it with a new one, NYSERDA will cover that full $200,000 differential. So it's really a win-win. You're taking a dirty one off. It's not costing you any more money. And then I just wanted to also clarify, there is indeed an electric school bus pilot in Croton. Their bus is called EV. But there's also one in White Plains City School District, and that's been running for 5 years. And they have 5 electric school buses out on their routes now. And they actually put them on the longest routes because they get the most savings that way. So that's been going on for 5 years. And again, they have 5 buses. They're saving a lot of money because it's a lot less for electricity than for diesel fuel. You get 6 to 10 miles per gallon with the buses. And at night, they put them on, they charge them up, and then they can sell some of that electricity back to the grid during peak hours. And of course, beyond the cost savings, there are the health benefits. So anyway, just wanted to kind of respond a little bit with some additional points. And I'm really encouraged that Yorktown Central School District seems to be interested in taking the first steps in terms of making some inquiries, at least with their bus providers. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah.
Anybody else?
How you doing? Tom Regan,
Hey, Tom.
Evergreen Street, but also here for Yorktown Athletic Club. Just need to get an update on Legacy Fields. It's, let's say, 22nd today, or 21st today, 21st. And Parks and Rec meeting won't be for another 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks from Thursday. So curious where we stand on that. I haven't heard much. Our season's, April 1st, the latest we should be starting. Weather was nice today. We're hoping to get on. I know Granite Knolls, they were using it this week. The Legacy is definitely affecting Yorktown Athletic Club. With it being closed and we're not using it, has there been any talk about compensation to the town or to the Parks and Rec? I know we asked about that last time. Has there been any negotiations of when we will get that back and how we'll be compensated for that? And if it's not going to be open, then I do need to make a decision with the Parks and Rec and start getting time at Granite Knolls for our programs. So anything you can provide would be great. The other thing I had was just, I should probably know this being in the town, separate. Going north, I guess it's west on 202 past the Roma building near Hamblin Street. They started cutting down trees there. Is that that's a condo complex coming in there? Like, what is the time frame on that? Like, when it's going to start and when it will be finished? If it's, is that fully completed? Definitely a bunch of trees. First time I've seen the White House in a long time behind there. That's what stood out with all the trees down. All right, thank you.
All right, Tom, thank you. Anybody else for courtesy of the floor? Sure.
Hello, Vic Tozo, Shrub Oak, 29 years.
Hey, Vic.
I actually came for the gas station on Route 6, but I figure I don't know if that's coming later.
Yeah, that'll be coming up shortly.
Can I discuss a frustration with New York State?
Sure.
Um,
Welcome to the club here. We're not laughing at you.
So I'm a landlord, and the eviction process is so horrible that, even before they changed the laws in New York, it took 4 months to evict someone. Now, the thing is that right now I'm 7 months in. You pay lawyers, they go. It's a charade. New York has made laws so difficult. You put somebody into a house. Landlords work very hard. I renovate, fix it up, take care of it, and people move in, and New York teaches them how to be bad. Teaches them how to be bad. And the reason I say that is because the people that I have, they kept telling me, oh, I was lucky I was collecting the rent. It's in Yonkers. A lot of people were not paying the rent. I know their son, a lot of nice conversations, but finally it got to them. And they said, why shouldn't we partake in this? And again, it's a complete charade. You wait months to go to court, and then the person gets up and says, oh, I need an interpreter. Put it off another month. Meanwhile, I missed work, and I'm there with my lawyer. And then the next month comes, and oh, I want free legal counsel. It goes on. So now I'm 7 months in, $17,000, and the trial is supposed to start next month. A lady in front of me was owed $40,000. So what these, I wouldn't say politicians, I actually get angry saying that now. I don't want to be mad at politicians, but they've actually broken into my livelihood, into my future, and created something. And what are they doing to people? The people, I used to have good conversations with one of their sons. He's a high school student. They called me at 1 o'clock in the morning, the gang, there was a problem with the gang. I've had good, but now the son won't even look at me because he knows what his parents are doing. What is it we're teaching? We're teaching bad behavior. It's not all like destitute people can't pay their bills. It's a racket many times. And this is what people in New York State are teaching. The powers to be. I've written to the governor. I don't think she had anything to do. Andrea Stewart Cousins. I've written to my assembly people. I've heard back from one person a very blah statement. Nobody's addressing what they're really doing. Making people unresponsible for the most part and putting it on the landlords and causing havoc. What is going to be the future? I mean, are people like me going to come in and renovate when we know who's going to lend us money? It's a disaster. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Vic.
You're welcome.
I'm sorry.
Okay, anybody else for courtesy of the floor? Courtesy of the floor. Okay.
Motion to close courtesy of the floor.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. I got Dan CRC coming up here to address your topics on Halleck's Mill sewer extension, Susan. And when he gets here, until he gets here, Adam, could you address that subpoena incident? I know it's not incident, the subpoena question, rather.
Sure. I mean, I reiterate my previous comments, and to the extent Ms. Siegel filed, a FOIL, as I understand it, it was responded to. She could have appealed it. She didn't. So it was processed in the normal course. I mean, I don't have really anything to add other than that.
Okay. All right. Very good. Did Dan get up here yet? No? With regard? Or maybe John on that pause deck for par 3. Do you have any information on that? What's that? No, no, Susan for par 3. Didn't she say par 3? Didn't you say par 3, Susan? Did I miss?
She said part 3.
Part 3 of
Part.
POSDEC.
P-A-R-T.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
Relative-
sorry. I thought you said par 3. Okay, my mistake.
Relative to AMS.
AMS.
800 East Main Street.
Yeah.
The question, as I understand it, is did you look at the EAF? And you certainly did.
Mm-hmm.
You issued a POSDEC, which has all the written reasonings to move forward in the fashion that you are, which is to require an environmental impact statement. All of those reasonings are elaborated in there. The project itself rises and meets 3 criteria as a type 1 action, possibly 4 if you count the local landmark. It's not a national landmark, and that's what it says in the SEQA regulation, but nevertheless it is a landmark and a historic asset to the town, so I'd say possibly 4. So it's a highly off the bat has the potential for significant adverse impacts, as we can see just from the number of type 1 actions that it meets, type 1 thresholds. The project, the Capelli project across the Taconic from it,
is somewhere in the neighborhood of 140 units, I think.
Mhm.
It started out as 205 or 6. That also had an EIS. It was on essentially vacant land at the time. It was the subject of a rezone. Very similar project. This has more units. It has similar height difficulties or challenges as the Capelli project. So, given that comparison and all of the type 1 thresholds that it meets, it made sense for you to move forward with an EIS as you did. And as I said, if you want to dig into the details, they're contained in the document, the POS decking document.
Thank you, John. Dan, could you give us a little update on the Halleck's Mill Sewer District?
I'll try and get through talking. I keep coughing, but
Yeah.
I'll do my best to get words out.
All right, I know it's a cost comparison and so forth and so on. And
So where we, just sort of update on where we are, the whole picture?
Yeah.
Okay, so we had, finally this all began in 2019, based on a budget of $14.3 million. And it was predicated on getting $10 million from Westchester County from the East of Hudson Fund. So we had established the district based on getting petitions, that we were able to get a majority of the resident owners signing petitions, which was the section of the statute for establishing special districts that we followed, was doing it by petition. Now, unfortunately, we ran into a snafu with Westchester County that the $10 million was not immediately released to us upon getting the requisite number of signatures. So it really, that kind of finally came to fruition last year. Once that did, we sent up our application. We also got $1.2 million from Congressman Mondaire Jones. So with that, all put a bow on that, sent it to Albany, and there was a couple of comments. Some of them, weren't fatal, but there were two comments that there was sort of no way of getting around. One was the time that elapsed, and it was time during the pandemic, supply chain issues. So the costs associated with building the district had gone up. So that was a comment they had, and quite frankly, that was a reasonable comment that our our $14.3 million budget probably was underestimating once last year came around. The other issue was the method of assessment. The district was really, the map plan and report that went along with the petitions based it upon an ad valorem tax, and that wasn't going to work because these type of special districts have to have a unit charge assessment. So we looked at that and recrunched the numbers, and it's something, instead of based on the value of property, it's based on the size of the lot, the amount of frontage, the area. So there's some nexus between how much they're being assessed and the demand they put on the system.
Mm-hmm.
The house has more frontage, you got to run more pipe to service them. That's the most obvious thing. So what we're doing right now is we're reworking the numbers because there's going to be more money. We're trying to solicit grants from other places to help impact that number, to kind of keep it within reason. And what, at least my recommendation, and I think, discussing it with bond counsel, there's another way we can do this. In that, we did it by petition, but we can also do it on the town board's motion. So what we're doing now is we're preparing a new map plan and report based upon a new budget, based upon a unit charge assessment methodology. And with that in hand, if the town board agrees, what we would do then is prepare the resolutions so that the town board could establish the district on their motion. Now, following that procedure, it is subject to permissive referendum. If a lot of people object to it, it could lead to us doing a vote to see if the support is there. But in the interest of You know, it's not a new application. We kind of have, to some extent, we kind of know who wants it and what we want to do. So it's really less that we're trying to create a new district. We're trying to just fix our application.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you look at it in that way, it's what we're doing. But I think the quickest way to get it up and running again is to do it on the town board's motion.
Yeah, and what we're doing now is we're actually searching for more grants. So hopefully we can get more money to get this moving. And it's an arduous task that you know we have to go through to get it moving. Thank God we don't have to spend the $14 million we have on day one. It does stretch out over the course of time with the build out and so on and so forth. So with the acceptance and I should say the input of applications for grants at this point in time, you never know if you're going to get them, number one, and how long they're going to take, number two. So the cost of material I know has gone up exponentially, and labor, etc. So the price from where it was when we first investigated it to where we are at this point has gone up quite a bit, probably above that 14 million that we do have. So we're going to have to figure it out from that point.
Yeah,
I know
and one of the things we want to do too, we want to do a little value engineering. I think
Yeah.
we're using way too many of these low pressure pumps.
Yeah.
I think there's some opportunities to
Do gravity.
eliminate them in certain instances and go with gravity, which, you know, is just a much better solution and will really be a cheaper solution.
Yeah.
So hopefully that can bring it down. And if we get any grants, you know, this really held true with the Mondaire Jones grant, that we didn't have it when we were going to establish the district, so it didn't fix the problem.
Right.
That, you know, in representing to the people the tax increase that they'll realize by virtue of establishing the special district is got to be based on grants that we know we have.
Correct.
And if we can get some money down the road, then yes, then maybe, you know, we could either, you know, try and reduce people's numbers or maybe even explore extending the district, being able to pick up more properties.
Pick up more
But-
properties.
But step one is to really just try and get the application we already have in motion to get it fixed.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, Dan.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, the pump stations, the pump station question. My second question about the $5.8 million grant, what's happening with that?
With
The status of the pump station.
Oh, I missed that one. Okay.
The pump station grant, we started, we met with our guys. We're trying to really cater the design of the stations, the equipment, to the stuff they're comfortable with. So we got one going. It looks like we're going to end up doing it in-house. But we also have our EDR involved. So once we kind of have the four corners of what we want a typical station to look like, we'll get them going and we'll get that grant, get some pump stations rebuilt that
get the
that
build-out
really
done.
need it.
Okay. Thanks,
All
Steve.
right, thank you.
Sarah, the electric school buses. Thank God we got Bird Bus down the road. Actually, we have a meeting with them. Jenna, when is that meeting? Didn't we have a meeting scheduled with Bird Bus? Was it next week? Wasn't there? 2 weeks. 2 weeks. So, you know, and I think, I like anything else, I think as they come, as the buses come into play more and more, the price will go down. It's like anything else. And using an electric bus in a village, of course, is good because it's a much more confined area. Or even in like the city of White Plains, it's much more confined. So their charging ratios and cycles are probably less. But they're going to be a facility right here in this town, so we'll see how it goes. What's that? 400,000 for the first bus. Tom Regan, yeah, Legacy Field. I got word it's gonna, and I thought that your counterpart would have advised you. It looks like April 1st.
I've been in the city the last few days, so I apologize.
Okay. Yeah, I told him last week. Shame on him. He's not keeping you in the loop, and I don't understand why. We're gonna have to find out. Okay.
That's okay. It's still a good
We know where he lives. All right. So we can go rough him up a little if you want to. Yeah, I know it. That's the target date, April 1st. Okay. It might be a little before. We'll know better. I have a telephone conference tomorrow with Matt and the commission and the geologists and so on and so forth. So we'll have a better bird's eye view on when that's going to open up. You had asked about for where the Wyant property is up there. John DeVito had bought that or was contract vendee on it, but I believe he purchased it. It's now been sold to a different developer, and they're now going to develop it as I understand the way that John had it planned out. So that's where that stands. Did I forget anybody? Yeah, I don't know. The only thing I can think of, Paul, is that has something to do with cable because they've been stretching new wires out all over the place, but I don't know anything about it. I don't know, maybe John, I'm not sure if he would even have anything on that with planning. Did you see the picture of that box? I don't think it's an electrical box. It looks like a cable box. I don't know. We'll have to check it out. It's a good question. I don't know.
Research it.
We'll have to research it.
No, Mark's question.
No, Curtis. The traffic study on 35202, etc. Yeah, they're probably looking to, take care of those roadways out there. I didn't. Not at this point. All right, come on. We got to direct it to the board. But there is a repaving project that's going to go on Route 202 that was already slotted for the very near future. I'm not sure if it's going to get done this year, but there's money allotted to that to go from, I believe, the police department into town, or that area there. I forget the exact. So Route 6 would be nice to get done. Okay, that's it. Motion to close, courtesy of the floor. We did that. We did that. Good. And that's it. Okay. We're going to bounce back to personnel. All right. Appoint John Winter Jr., lead maintenance mechanic, automotive in the central garage. Reappoint Bridget Crow to the Yorktown Heritage Preservation Commission. Reappoint Christine Sisler to the Yorktown Heritage Preservation Commission. Can I have a motion on that?
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. We're going to convene a public hearing to consider an amended special use permit application submitted by Island Pump and Tank Corp. Location at 930 East Main Street in Shrub Oak. Anybody? And we have verification of the notice. Okay, anybody for 930 East Main Street, Shrub Oak? What?
You can speak, yeah, Vic.
You can speak to that? Okay.
Hi, so Vic Tozo. I'm not sure what they want to do, but I have a gripe about the trees that were cut down quite a while ago at this gas station. I don't know if it was estate trees, but I know the gas station cut them down. They had nice pines. I thought they would do planting after that. I did call Long Island. Nobody called me back. So there was at least 3 nice white pine trees that they cut down, I would say, a year and a half ago. Now, if you look at, there's an old fence towards the west.
Excuse me one second.
Sure.
Can we take the conversation outside, please? Sorry.
So they cut these down, I'm guessing a year and a half ago. They were similar to the white pines by the JV Mall. I think the state planted those years ago. I know the gas station cut them down. I thought they were gonna replant, and it just sits barren. It's a great gas station. Why would they cut those trees down and not do anything about it? So I don't know what the meeting is about. I got the notice, but my gripe is the trees.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? John, you want to come up and give us a synopsis on things on that?
This is on 9:30.
9:30, yeah.
Sorry.
Do you know if there's a planting plan?
Yeah, so, I don't know, did you get a memo from us? I don't know if you
I
did.
don't know that we did.
Yes.
I didn't see it if we did.
Okay. All right, so anyway, in there should be the recommendation that you need to have a landscape plan among some other things. We did note through our review, and the planning board would like to see that again. There was a substantial and very well-developed landscape plan that was approved at the outset of the project, many years ago, when it was first renovated, I think, into shell. But that landscape plan has gone a little bit unkept, and so it needs to be revisited. I believe that the applicant is in the process of producing a landscape plan, but has not completed it yet.
Yeah, we haven't gotten yet.
Yeah.
Right, so that needs to be done. I also think you'd probably need to look a little deeper at some other things like the lighting and things of that nature, so. Generally speaking, it's really a refit, some new branding and things like that, so not a big change, but there are some things that I think need to be relooked at, including, the landscape plan, which would include those trees that the fellow described as has been removed, which they have, by the way.
Yes.
Happy 29th birthday, by the way.
Thank you, I'll take it. I'll take all 29 years of it. Live with you today? Still waiting for the landscape.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a year gap.
Yeah.
We're playing catch up there.
So we're waiting for landscape plans at this point. Mr. Porco, you want to come up and?
Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
Grazie,
Good.
grazie.
Good. How are you?
Good.
So the landscaping plan is in the works.
Okay.
So we're aware of it. We were in front of the planning department. They did bring it up, and we've been, slowly but working on it.
The trees there. That may have been prior to you,
That was definitely
your
prior
company,
to-
that they were taken down.
Correct.
And I don't know why, or if there was a permit issued or anything to take them down.
Nothing that I'm aware of.
Is Dan still here?
I can speak to that.
Okay. Oh, I didn't realize, John. Okay.
I know a little bit about it.
You know a little bit about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it was 3 trees.
Yeah.
So that's under the threshold.
Under the threshold for
Where
that.
they were, so as protected trees, which I think they were large enough, to the right species, but it was only 3, so they could take them down without a permit,
Okay.
if you remember that.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you, John.
Now we're gonna put it back, something pretty there.
Well, through the landscape plan, that's something that you need to think about, and also, one of the things to think about in relation to those trees and also the building is that you see the backside of it from Route 6, so I think that should be softened.
John, before you run away.
Yes.
We're looking at the town board, planning board memo. So are you still waiting for the proposed reconstruction of the existing canopy plans? And how that's going to, because that was one of the things.
Yeah, we haven't seen a resubmittal since we saw the referral, so, yes.
All right, so that's outstanding too at this point?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're just waiting for all that at this point, so we're not
Yeah.
gonna be able to.
And Mr. Porco knows well and, I think is in complete agreement with some of the things that we've asked for, so,
Okay.
as far as I understand.
So the plan's moving forward, we're just waiting for the.
Yeah.
Thanks, John.
Items to come in. Okay, very good. Anybody else? Okay, a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we're going to go into a little work session at this point. First topic's going to be the outdoor seating at restaurants, the renewal of the policy of outdoor seating at restaurants. And John Landy is not here at this point.
So if I may, just.
The town attorney's going to
Sure, so.
fill in.
You know, I had a discussion, after this was placed on the agenda that raised an issue that I'd like to pursue a little bit. So
Okay.
what I was hoping we would do is actually adjourn this to the next work session.
Sure.
And we can come back with, you know,
More information on it?
Well, a proposal that's, you know, ready.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, sounds good. And update on the Downing Drive streetscape, John? We might as well just have you stay up here.
Is the public meeting over? Ready to adjourn?
No, that was just a public hearing.
There was just a public hearing.
So the Downing Street streetscape, we're still in the first baby steps. I'm about to go out and get bids for surveyors. So we need a new survey for this. In particular, you know, spot elevations and things of that nature. A little bit easier than a lot of the streetscapes because there's not a lot of buildings close to the street that have, you know, first floors that have elevational problems, except, you know, there's one that's much higher. So the other good thing about this project is that, as I believe that you guys are aware and in agreement with, that the vocabulary of the streetscape that we've used on Commerce Street is the design vocabulary that we will continue to use on Downing Drive. So therefore, a lot of that design work is, you know, in the bag, so to speak. We just have to pull it out and set it down on the particular areas that they make sense to set them. In other words, benches, you know, lighting fixtures, et cetera, et cetera. So, but it will have the same flavor and appurtenances that you see on Commerce Street. So that will help us along in time frame. So I'm working hard to get those solicitation letters out by the end of this week. And so once that gets commenced, you know, it'll pick up some momentum. So.
Great. Okay. That's it on streetscapes. Good deal. All right, we're going to resolutions. From the Finance Department, authorize comptroller to process the following budget transfers for the payments to the East of Hudson Watershed Corporation for maintenance of ponds, and authorized additional bank as designated depositories for the town of Yorktown, TD Bank. Authorized, as from the John C. Hart Memorial Library, authorized library director to sign an agreement with DP Wolf Incorporated for the temporary removal and replacement of 12.5-ton condensing unit. That's an air conditioning unit. From our Parks and Recreations Department, authorized supervisor to sign an agreement with the Yorktown Grange to provide facilities for the Parks and Recreations Department half-day summer camp program in the amount of $6,500. And an award a bid for pool pump and motor rebuild for Junior Lake Aquatic Facility. Authorize town clerk to advertise a bid for camp buses for the Parks and Recreations Department. And then from the town board, authorize supervisor to enter into a license agreement with the Yorktown Volunteer Ambulance Corps for storage of the fly car. From the town engineer, authorize the comptroller to process the following budget transfer for Osceola sewer districts. Authorized purchase of strainers and associated equipment from the sole source supplier, TM Industrial Supply. Authorize purchase of 5 check valves from sole source supplier, JT Lin, for a total cost of $66.20. Award a bid for ultraviolet lamp replacement disinfection system for the water pollution control plant. And I'm just going to go into this on resolutions in the spirit of full transparency. We had a special meeting on March 14th due to the inclement weather on some things that we had to pass. I'm not going to read all through them at this point. You can see in your agenda the ones that we did pass. Some of them were personnel, others were reappointments and so forth. But as long as we were having the meeting, we figured we might as well get some of them out of the way at this point. I think that's it. Can I have a motion to adjourn? Oh, what did I forget?
Voting on the resolutions.
Oh, yes, sorry about that. Okay.
I'm sending it to you right now.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to pass the resolutions.
Hold on. Councilwoman Howard is going to recuse herself from voting on one of the resolutions.
From one of the resolutions. Do we need to identify that resolution she wants to recuse herself from, or?
Ambulance Corps one, correct?
Yep, for the,
Fly car.
The fly car, okay. So why don't we do a,
Well, she let her
I'm done.
state it for the record.
we'll let her state it for the record, and then we'll
Separate it out.
separate it out.
Good idea.
Okay, up to the motion for the fly car. Can I have a motion?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay. On the motion for the fly, could I have a motion on the resolution for the fly car payment?
So moved.
Can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motions carry.
I'm recused.
Okay, and that's from the fly car.
I'm going to state the reason for my recusal is that my husband is a volunteer Yorktown Ambulance Corps, so I'm recusing myself from the renewal of the license agreement for the Yorktown Volunteer Ambulance Corps for the storage of the fly car.
All
And
right.
I have sent it over to you, Diane.
There you go.
Thanks.
Done. Okay. Now can I have a motion?
So moved.
To adjourn. Do you have a
moved.
second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, Yorktown.
Thank you, thank you.